Hi, all. Thank you for watching this. TJ gave me permission to do a video post this week instead of writing. I woke up extremely sick this morning and I'm just trying to get through this. So I apologize if I'm not all there. Uh, I wanted to talk first about the TED Talk that we watched on master procrastination and the speaker, Tim Urban. Uh, it really spoke to me this week because I am under a self-imposed deadline of completing um, two incomplete courses along with my coursework for this semester, which is three classes. So in a total, it would be like five classes, but there's only five projects to do for the incompletes to finish them up, two and three. So um, I do notice that, just like you said, a deadline is necessary for us to work towards instead of just saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to get to it because. Well, since this English has been on my plate since fall of 2019, it has, I will get to it when I cut because. But of course, there were extenuating circumstances with COVID, with me actually being extremely sick last fall, and our current situation right now, as well as the passing of my brother, uh, which resulted in the second incompletion. Um, I've noticed that even though throughout my academic career and being an interior designer, no matter how far ahead I planned for projects, we were always doing them last minute. And it didn't matter. Something always happened. And so I think that as long as you plan for contingencies and try to build them in, so to speak, into your deadline, you can do it. And I'm here to say that we can all be resilient and do it, no matter what we're experiencing. Uh, and so, what we need to do is just kind of harness that instant gratification monkey into more productive ways of being and keep that panic monster at bay if we can. But I know the panic monster well. Um, so, you may be hearing more about the panic monster later, but hopefully not. Hopefully, we've found a balance this time, trying something new. I also want to talk about the chapter on listening. I really connected with the types of listeners, and if I was to have to label myself as one or two of them, then I would say it was a people-oriented listener and a action-oriented listener. A lot of my friends come to me for me to be that listening ear and that empathetic, sympathetic ear. And some of them want solutions, so the action oriented, and some don't. But in most cases, it's definitely more people oriented and supportive um, in things. So, but I can see using all types of listening styles in one way or another, being time oriented, etc., especially when you're under time constraints. I also really connected to the barriers of to effective listening. I think that that plays a huge role in our society right now in our time of distance learning. How do we block out that environmental noise that may be going on in our house where we have to study, where we have children, where we have homeschooling going on, or even work demands on top of a school load, and how we do that. I'm fortunate to have a space where I can semi close myself off, but it still doesn't work completely with sharing the office space with my mom, who is a public teacher. So she's teaching while I'm studying or teaching while I'm attending class in my one synchronous class. It does make it challenging. One of the other things I thought was really interesting was the concept box of the digital listening, or I can't remember exactly the name of it, I'm sorry. But basically, it came down to always having to have some type of other activity going on or something. I have to say that's how I have to listen sometimes, or focus even. Not necessarily listening, but listen. I have to listen to music in order to focus to write, or to um, read long chapters at sometimes, or even write passages. I'll pick movies that I've seen constantly that just allow my brain to flow without paying attention to it and paying attention to what I'm writing. So I thought that was really interesting. The other things that I thought was interesting and like to do, but I wasn't able to load up, was that learning style quiz, because I am interested in seeing that. So TJ, if you do have that resource available, the link didn't work in the book. I thought that the section on active listening was really interesting too, because I feel as an educator that active listening is one of the skills that is least taught in any type of uh, profession, as the book mentioned as well. And so, what are we listening for when we're listening to lectures? What are we? What is their message? How does it relate to why I'm there, or if it's conference or a speaker that you're going to see? Why are you doing it? And how to get that information into what you're doing to stop yourself from thinking about other things or such, and the use of mnemonics and things of that nature. So one for me is Roy G. Biv. And if you're not familiar with that, that's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. I also thought that critical listeners, learning about how to be a critical listener, was really important. Um, I think that these are things that are just not taught. I think that Common Core is addressing it a little bit more in how to be a critical thinker, but I don't know that they're addressing the portion of how to be a critical listener. So having some of those ideas and how to do it, I think is going to be a very effective tool for me in all aspects of my life and all my relationships, professional, familial, and relation and intimate relationships. Um, the other thing was how to make what you're saying more listenable. Um, and we speak orally in a way, and then we listen in a different manner. So using signposts as we do in debate and things of that nature to make it more um, listenable, or more able to be understood by the listener, I think is a huge thing in using transitions and such. And that kind of wraps up um, the points that I thought were really important and salient for me, and ones that I will definitely use. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. I appreciate it. Have a great week.